Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making a vegan Chinese dish, the 3-cup king oyster mushrooms. We have made the 3-cup chicken recipe before on this channel, but today we're using the same ingredient but different technique to cook this meat-like texture king oyster mushrooms. And as usual, I'm not only teaching you the recipe, but also going to share with you all you need to know about this main ingredient, king oyster mushroom. Check it out. Friends, this is Erica right here. I'm a Taiwanese citizen currently living in America. Cooking and traveling is my passion, so I'm here to share with you my favorite Asian recipe. On top of that, all my videos cover a little food knowledge and a history background of the dish, as well as a Chinese lesson at the end of the video. So if that interests you, please subscribe and keep watching. In our previous 3-cup chicken recipe video, we already talked about the origin story of the famous 3-cup chicken. I'll leave a link up here, so if you're interested, you can always go back and check it out later. 3-cup king oyster mushroom recipe we're making today is a famous Chinese vegan dish that used the 3-cup seasoning to cook with the meaty-like texture king oyster mushroom. So first, let me introduce to you what is the 3-cup seasoning. In our modern society, where the ingredients are diversified, cheap, and easy to obtain, 3-cup sauce have applied to all different kind of ingredients. Besides the 3-cup chicken that we made before, as well as the 3-cup king oyster mushroom I'm making today, there's so many 3-cup seasoning recipe out there, such as the 3-cup squid, 3-cup clam, 3-cup tofu, and even 3-cup pasta. Despite the variety of ingredients that we use, the 3-cup sauce always includes equal parts of rice wine, soy sauce, and sesame oil. And then it will be topped with the garnish, basil. The sauce is sticky, savory, a little bit spiciness kick, slightly sweet with a deep caramelized flavor. The basil at the end also gives the sauce a little minty undertone, which is super tasty. King oyster mushroom have a crazy title called the vegetarian beef. The cooked king oyster mushroom not just tastes like beef, but also contains high protein and low calories. It is the favorite of a lot of fitness and weight loss people. In Taiwan, we love to use the 3-cup seasoning to cook with poultry and seafood. And king oyster mushroom is also a master of mimicking chicken and seafood texture. So that's exactly why we choose the king oyster mushroom for today's recipe. King oyster mushroom are also known as the trumpet mushroom or the French horn mushroom. It is the biggest mushroom in the oyster mushroom family, and it is grown individually instead of cluster like the pearl oyster mushroom. King oyster mushroom are originated from the shore of Mediterranean Sea, and it's found in the Middle East and Northern Africa. Today, they are the commercially cultivated mushroom that is mostly seen in Asia, used in Chinese, Japanese, and Korean cuisine, and it is making its way to North America. The king oyster mushroom have the earthy, aromatic, and savory flavor, and just like the other oyster mushroom, it is known for its intense umami flavor. And like we mentioned earlier, the king oyster mushroom have the meaty-like and almost tough texture that is a great choice for meat substitute. To store the king oyster mushroom is nothing like the other mushroom, we need to let it breathe. If you bought your king oyster mushroom in a plastic wrapped container, you can leave it as it. But if you bought it in bulk, never leave them in your plastic produce bag, it will go bad. Transfer them into a cotton muslin bag or mesh bag. If you don't have one, a paper bag will do the trick too. Both cotton and paper are great material to store mushroom because it will absorb the extra moist and also let it breathe. Store your mushroom in the fridge right away after you wrap them, but never put them in the produce drawer because mushrooms do not like moist environment. The king oyster mushroom are grown on the hardwood tree, so they don't typically have too much dirt on them like the other type of mushrooms. If you ever see any dirt on the king oyster mushroom, just use a kitchen napkin to wipe it up real quick. If you ever need to wash your mushroom, let's say you drop your mushroom in your dirty kitchen floor and have some hair on it, just simply use the cold water to rinse them off gently, but never soak it. It will not lose its flavor that way. So now we know what is a king oyster mushroom, how to deal with your mushroom. Let me share with you the health benefit of king oyster mushroom. According to the research, every 100 grams of king oyster mushroom contains only 48 calories but with 3.53 grams of protein. It is a low-calorie but high-protein and fiber mushroom, which is great for weight loss diet, help with digestion, and improve your bowel movement. They also contain riboflavin, vitamin B6, C and D, niacin, potassium, and folate, which can promote brain health, lower the blood pressure, also refresh and boost energy. The high amount of natural occurring amino acid and ergothioneine are both great antioxidants that store in the organs such as liver and kidney that will reduce your risk of getting chronic disease and cancer. Now, I bet you can't wait to make this 3-cup king oyster mushroom recipe with me, so let's start cooking, shall we? Here are the ingredients that we'll need for today's 3-cup king oyster mushrooms. For our king oyster mushroom, we want us to slice it into around 1-inch thickness and then flour cut it. The Chinese saying of flour cut is basically some crust on both sides, so it's easier for the mushroom to absorb the sauce later. To do this flour cut is very simple. Just put your sliced mushroom on the cutting board and use your knife to slightly glance through the surface of the mushroom and then turn it 90 degrees and do the same thing. Of course, after you gotta turn it around and do the exact same thing on the back. You can see that it looks like a chessboard on both sides, but don't cut it all the way through. This is just letting the mushroom to absorb the sauce better later. And besides the mushroom, we'll need some ginger, chili pepper, scallion, and basil. For the sauce, of course, we have our 3-cup, which is the soy sauce, rice wine, and sesame oil. Here, I'm using the dark sesame oil. If you have the normal sesame oil, you can also use that, but the dark sesame oil will smell even better. We'll also need some rock sugar for the sweetness and some salt for seasoning. If you have a clay pot at home, that would be the best. It's beautiful to display, but if not, it's okay. And the exact amount will be in the description box down below. Prepare a frying pan and turn the heat on to medium-low. And add in sesame oil and ginger. Here we need to let the ginger release its aroma and flavor until it starts curling up like this. Give it time, but don't use too high of a heat or else the sesame oil will turn bitter. Now, you can see that the ginger is all dried and curled up. We'll add in the mushroom and some salt. Adding the salt early is to force out the water content in the king oyster mushroom so it can absorb the sauce better later. Keep stir frying and you'll see all the sesame oil has been absorbed by the mushrooms, and we'll keep stir frying for around 2 to 3 minutes until the mushroom starts softening up a little, and we'll add in our rock sugar. The rock sugar is more of a concentrated style of cane sugar, so if you don't have it, you can just use the normal cane sugar. Keep stir frying for around 1 minute so the sugar is mostly melted and you can add in your soy sauce. Stir fry it well so all the soy sauce is evenly coated on the mushrooms, and add in water and cover it up to braise for 3 minutes. This braising process will let the mushroom totally soften up and absorb all the goodness of the juice. When the time is up, open up the lid and keep it in medium heat until the sauce is thickening up. In the meantime, we'll be preparing our clay pot. If you don't have a clay pot, it's totally fine, just use another pan. Turn the heat up onto medium and add in 1 tablespoon of sesame oil right away. Never dry heat your clay pot or it might crack. So adding in either water or oil before you heat up your pot is the safest option for clay pot. When the oil is hot, add in your scallion and chili. Stir fry them real quick. Around 30 seconds is enough. The mushroom now should be ready too, so add half of the basil into the clay pot and then the other half into the mushroom. Mix the basil with the mushroom real quick and turn off the heat. Now, the clay pot is all hot, it's time to toss in your mushroom. Before you cover it up again, drizzle the rice wine on top and cover it right up. And voila! The 3-cup king oyster mushroom is ready. The reason why we add the rice wine on top is because the aroma of the rice wine will be released when you open up the lid on your dinner table. That made the dish smells even better for your guests. The 3-cup king oyster mushroom tasted as great as the 3-cup chicken. The savory / slightly sweetened sauce is great to pair with rice. And I also love the little kick of the spiciness at the end. I did not mix the mushroom into the chili and scallion at the end, but if you want a stronger flavor, you can totally mix it when it's still on the stove. If I'm not on a low-carb diet right now, you know me, there will definitely be a bowl of rice in my hand right now. Even the king oyster mushroom has been braised for almost 15 minutes, it still haven't lost its texture. It's soft and a little bit crunchy almost, easy to chew on and full with flavor. Now, while we're enjoying our 3-cup king oyster mushroom, let's learn how to say it in Chinese, shall we? The word of the day today is obviously a 3-cup king oyster mushroom, 3杯杏鲍菇. The first 2 characters we learned before in our 3-cup chicken is the 3-cup. And the last 3 characters is our king oyster mushroom in Chinese, which is 杏鲍菇. So 3-cup king oyster mushroom is 3杯杏鲍菇. Thank you for cooking with me to the end. Let me know if you like this recipe by giving this video a thumbs up. It's only gonna take you a second, but it means a lot to me. I make a video on YouTube every Thursday, so remember to hit that bell and you'll never miss out. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next Thursday.